recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivia Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivia Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as the Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list. Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivia Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today, episode number 256. Ben Young, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I am fantastic. This is one of my favorite episodes every year, and I am not exaggerating.
Awesome.
It is the one of the 2 games each year that I don't get to play, and I'm always super jealous. This is our 2020 Black History Month episode. Ben, are you excited?
Man, I'm ecstatic. I am pumped today.
All right, well, let's meet our guests.
Awesome.
First up, we have Mr. Rob Everett, Robear himself. Hello, Rob.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you for having me back.
We have one of my wrestling buddies, Mr. Greg Johnson. Hello, Greg.
Hello. Glad to be back.
You watching Royal Rumble tomorrow, dude?
Absolutely.
Darn right.
Favorite night of the year.
Mr. Nick Brooks is in the house. Hello, Nick.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. It is great to have you back. And last but definitely not least, we have Miss Zakhia Mendoza. Hello, Zakhia.
Habari gani wasafiri? That's Swahili.
All right.
Greetings, traveler.
Awesome.
I'm going to have to take her word for that.
I trust you.
All right, let's get to know you all a little bit better. We'll start with Rob. Rob, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I guess around these parts, I go by Robear. I am living in Detroit, Michigan. I am a trivia host for Sporkle Incorporated. Also, they're one of their content writers and trainers. I guess pretty much that's kind of one of the fun parts about myself. But I guess the one thing that I guess I'm starting to have more fun with is the last time I was on your show, I think that was episode 211, was at that time I was fostering 2 kids. Mm-hmm. And as of this recording, we now have 3.
Wow.
So we are currently fostering 2 girls, Shyler, who's 11, Skylar, who is 13, and our third is one that we actually adopted last May, is Rosalie, who is 14.
You are a hero in the community, my friend.
Thank you.
You are a good man.
I have a good wife, because without her, there's no way that without Dina, this doesn't get done.
That's the truth. And I'm going to see you in Las Vegas in a couple of months at TriviaCon, right?
That you are. I'm in the process of getting that plane ticket. These prices won't go down, so I'm just going to have to surrender and get it.
Darn right. I can't wait to drink a beer with you, my friend.
Same here.
All right, Mr. Greg Johnson, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
All right. My name is Greg Johnson. I'm from Aiken, South Carolina. I am a software developer. And something interesting about myself, I guess, so I've lived in Aiken for about 5 years now. And before then, I guess the group at work never really dealt with trivia or trivia nights. And I think I've introduced that fandom to quite a few people now.
That's fantastic. So you got a good group that you get to go with?
Absolutely. We vary from maybe about 5 people to maybe at sometimes up to a dozen to go to trivia night every Wednesday.
That is awesome. Love that. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Nick Brooks, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hey, I live in St. Paul, Minnesota now. I'm also a software developer. Don't think we planned that. But something fun about myself, which might make this game either interesting or challenging, is that I'm originally from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. Moved to Minnesota about 10 years ago. Yeah, we'll see how much my American history is caught up to to be competitive in this game.
So you've only been in the U.S. for 10 years.
Yep.
Your accent is non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that a lot, and I was back home for the holidays, and I will say it definitely changes when I'm around my family and friends from back home, and then I'll come back here, and my people will be like, "You sound different, Nick. Where are you? What's going on there?" So yeah, depending on how competitive this game gets, it might change mid-recording.
Jamaican is one of my favorite accents. If you want to go whole hog with that, you feel free. We are your friends and family.
We'll try it. It takes some effort these days.
All right. And Zakhia, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Oh, this is going to be a ride. Okay, so I'm Zakhia. I am originally from Detroit proper, and now I am suburban. I live in Canton, Michigan. I'm a marketing analyst, and I guess my fun fact is that maybe after episode 211, I became an official stalker of Robear because I called my trivia team. Like, oh, yeah, we got to find this guy. He's in Plymouth. He hosts in Plymouth. Let's do it. That's like 5 minutes away from me. And we went there. I got my husband. I got my friends. And we went up and we ended up winning that day. And I was so inspired that I became a Sporkle host, too.
Wow.
So... yeah, I host in Belleville, Michigan, and I do research for them too, for venue research. So all
that
sorts of
is
things.
too cool. Are you going to be joining us in Las Vegas at TriviaCon too?
I am not.
Oh,
I am not. I do have a good reason. I'm with child.
oh my!
Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
That's what we need more people like you in the world. So that's a good thing.
Well, there's no guarantee that it'll come out and be like me. It might be like my mother, and that might be a whole different situation.
Is that how people in Detroit roll? They all talk about their mama like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my experience.
Yeah, my mom talks about her mom. It's a thing.
It's true.
Oh my gosh. Well, it is so exciting to have all of you on today's show. This is great. And it's time for me to stop talking and turn it over to my boy Ben Young. Ben, take it away.
All right, everybody. So I'm so excited to be hosting today. We're going to, of course, as with every Trivial Warfare episode, we're going to kick it off with a little Warm It Up Chris. You wasn't expecting this, were you? Mr. Literature, Theophily. Let's go. Let's get warm. Before we start this game, here's a little teaser for your brain. Let's get warm. We gon' ask some questions. Will you get it right or be a dunce like Kirsten? Let's get warm. No, it's not Chris, but it's the next best. So don't diss and listen to this. Let's get warm. Cause when it's trivia, it's war, and I'm divvying the score like Vivian and Ed Ward. Let's get warm. Yeah. All you got to do is feel it. All right, so this Warm It Up Chris question came from me with an assist from my wife, Tashina. So thank you, Tashina. So what this is going to do is, and I'm actually going to let Jonathan play this round because since you're jealous, I'll let you get a little bit of action.
Nice. You don't have to.
No. I want to. I had this with you in mind.
All right.
I have a list of iconic
mega hits
phrases.
Okay.
From either TV shows or movies. And obviously Black History Month, these are going to be black movies or TV shows. And I want you to tell me what movie or TV show I am referencing. All right. So everybody got the idea?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yes, got
it. So Jonathan, we're actually going to start with you.
Oh my.
All right. Here's your quote. You ain't never met Martin Luther King.
Coming to America.
Coming to America is correct. Woo! All right. We're going to go to Zakhia next.
All right.
Here's your quote. Come on, sit down. Eat some cake, anime.
Oh, that's what's love got to do with it?
What's love got to do with this? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nick. Your quote is, kiss my Converse.
Ooh, no idea. I'm gonna take a guess here and say Soul Plane.
Soul Plane is incorrect. Anybody want to help him?
You need to say that with a Jamaican accent. Maybe you'll get it.
This was a Harlem accent I was trying to do.
Okay.
Anybody want to help him?
It's my Converse. I have no idea.
Yeah,
It's a little 80s
I don't
classic.
know.
Bruce Leroy, The Last Dragon.
The Dragon.
The Last Dragon.
Oh.
That was Show Nuff, the Shogun of Harlem. He walked in. It was like a fast food restaurant. He was like, "My name is Show Nuff, and I'm the Shogun of Harlem." I'm like, "This is the funniest crap I've ever heard in my life."
Amazing.
That's going on the watch list for sure.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Last Dragon is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one. I have to say this. There's one scene. So Bruce Leroy, he's a black kid in Harlem, but he dresses like Bruce Lee. He's got like the white jumpsuit and the yellow jumpsuit and everything. And there's actually a scene where he's walking around like all this Asian garb, and there's a bunch of Asian kids on the street that's got all hip hop stuff on. It's crazy, so crazy. All right, Greg, here's your quote. Hot tub, gonna make me sweat.
Oh no! I knew Coming to America. I knew stuff got to do with it. Martin.
Nope. Anybody want to help him out?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope. That
it's
is
driving me
Eddie
nuts.
Murphy playing James Brown on Saturday Night Live.
It's Eddie Murphy playing
Oh,
James
okay.
Brown on Saturday Night Live. Good job. Rob, you're next. Here's your quote. It's gonna rain on your head.
Oh. Ugh. That almost sounds like something Jack A would say on 227. But yeah, I don't know that one.
Anybody want to help him?
No.
I mean, I want to.
I don't know either.
No.
All right. That's actually from I was almost say Coming to America. The Color Purple. When Mister was going to the house, he had a leak, and one of the kids was telling him it was going to rain on his head. All right, Jonathan. Here's your quote. You got knocked the F out.
That's Friday.
That is Friday.
Damn
Good
right, it's
job.
Friday.
All right, Zakhia. Here's your quote.
By the way, you need to make the best GIF of that is you need to make a GIF so that we can use that with each other because the bad ones out there are not good.
All right. Do I have to write that one down too?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, Zakhia. Here's your quote. You got change for 100.
You got change for 100. Honey. I don't know.
Anybody want to help her? This was Chris Rock.
Damn, Robear said, "Screw it, I'm out." He just left. He's like,
this is too hard.
peace out. It sounded like another Friday quote.
Yeah.
No, this is Chris Rock, a movie produced by Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Ooh, wait.
How much is it for one? It's like, the slab is like $250. No,
I think it's
one rib.
What?
I'm going to
Put
get
it in your
you.
hand.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. Yes, good job.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Nick, you're next. Here's your
Incest.
quote. Just 2 words. Game blouses.
Well, Zakhia knows it. Nope. Help me out with this one.
Zakhia?
Yes, this is Prince releasing the thing. Dave Chappelle as Prince.
Yes,
Okay.
Dave Chappelle as Frank.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Classic sketch.
And then he made his pancakes.
Yes.
It's like, so good. It's like, hope you enjoy the pancakes. All right, Greg, you're next.
Okay.
Here's your quote. Oh, now you're gonna shoot me in my pinky toe.
Oh,
Man. I don't know. I have
Anybody want to
no
help him?
idea.
Anybody know?
it's such a classic movie. That is Della Reese in Harlem Nights.
That is Della Reese and Harlem Nights.
Nice job, Robear.
And Robear, you're next.
All right.
Okay, here's your quote. I said Jerome's in the house. I said Jerome's in the house. Look at the white shoes. Look at the white shoes.
Look at the white shoes. Look at the white shoes. Yeah, that's Martin.
Yeah.
It is Martin, set in Detroit.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan, you're next.
All right.
I have your names written down on a wheel. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose track. Okay, here's your quote. I'm sick and tired of men using love like it's some kind of disease. Love should have brought your ass home last night.
No. That sounds like a David Allen Greer, Tommy Davidson thing, but I can't think of the name. I don't know.
Nope. Anybody want to help him?
It sounds to me like the sassy opening of like an R&B video in the 90s.
So this
You know
was
how
a
they're
song
like,
by
"Ah."
Tony Braxton based on this movie soundtrack.
Oh, is this Waiting to Excel?
Nope.
Is this how Stella got her groove back?
It is not. It's an Eddie Murphy movie. And that was
Boomerang.
Boomerang. It was Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. And of course, the running joke was, how in the world can you ever cheat on Halle Berry if you're ever dating her in a movie? So
For real.
like, who is finer than Halle Berry? Anyway. All right. So let's see. Who's next? Is that Zakhia? Zakhia, you're next.
Yes.
Here's your quote. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
This is funny. I don't know it.
So it wasn't funny at the time it was said. Anybody want to help her?
That is Nino Brown, as portrayed by Wesley Snipes in New Jack City.
It is. Nino Brown's played by as portrayed by Wesley Snipes.
I wasn't allowed to watch that growing up. I was too young.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, Nick.
By the time she's allowed to watch, it'll be Old Jack City.
It'll be Old Jack City. Old Jack City. Yep. That's when he got arrested for tax evasion and came out. It was Old Jack City. All right, Nick. Here's your quote. Don't you ever touch a black man's radio, boy.
I've definitely seen this one. Nope.
Anybody want to help him?
Is that Rush Hour?
It is Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rush
of course,
Hour.
Nice job,
Chris Tucker and
Greg.
Jackie Chan. All right, Greg. I should have researched this one a little bit better. So I'm going to go this off of memory, okay?
Oh, great.
All right, here's your quote. That's how you drive. From now on, that's how you drive.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh. I know other people's answers, but I don't know mine.
That's how it is.
Oh,
I know this one.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, Nick, what is it?
That's Will Smith, and I believe it's Bad Boys 2 when Martin Lawrence is driving his Ferrari.
That's right. You're absolutely right. It is Will Smith from Bad Boys.
Was it Bad Boys 2 or was it Bad Boys?
I know he said it in the first one. He may have said it in the second one. I'm not sure.
I
It's in
saw
there.
both of them like 2 weeks ago, so it's one of the two of them.
Oh, nice.
Close enough. I'll give it to you.
Yep.
All right, Robear, here's your quote.
Yep.
What you say about my mama?
Dang, no, I'm not gonna pull that one.
Anybody
I know it too. I can't figure the name of it.
You got a clue?
Clue, it was set in South Central LA. I'm trying to remember it was Lorenz Tate that quoted that was the actor that quoted it. He was in a convenience store talking to an Asian convenience store owner. Who made a
Menace to
comment about
Society?
Menace to Society.
There
is
you go.
correct.
All
right. I think we're back to you, Jonathan.
Oh, was there more?
Oh yeah, we got this is last round.
All right.
All right.
We might need to work together. Let's work together. Let's work together on this last group.
All right, Jonathan, here's your quote.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Oh, is this life?
Oh
No,
what is it, guys?
no, is this the Temptations?
This is the
I think so.
Temptations. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that Temptations movie that ran on VH1 constantly. Yes.
Yep. Better come to see
it's
you,
like
Otis.
7 hours long.
Yes.
I'm David Ruffin. All right.
Sorry, Leon.
yes, Leon, so classic. It's so funny because the actor Leon, my sister and I, we always call him the fourth Tony because he looked like he could sing in Tony, Tony, Tony. So we always call him the fourth Tony. Here's the next one. We are enraged because we know that you have been to Baltimore, Maryland with the wretched having big fun.
That's the Cosby Show.
Yes, this is Miss
Mrs.
Claire
Huxtable.
Huxtable.
Yes.
Yep.
Iconic
Yelling at
Claire Huxtable.
Vanessa.
Oh, man. She was so unintentionally funny. There were so many comedic moments during that rant. She was like, oh, let's see what you did. Well, you had donuts. Oh, man. Just the excellence of Felicia Rashad. Okay. Here's the next one. They used to call me Crazy Joe. Well, now they can call me Batman.
Lean on me.
Lean on me.
Lean on me.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is the last one. Let's see if y'all know it. Way down in the jungle deep, a badass lion stepped on a monkey's feet.
Oh.
Oh my goodness gracious! You did not just go Dolomite on us.
I did just go Dolomite on you. Rest in peace, Rudy Ray Moore.
My dad is obsessed with Rudy Ray Moore.
He's an original.
Obsessed. He's going to freak out when he hears this.
That has been your Warm It Up Chris question of the episode.
Good job, Ben.
Thank you. It was harder for me to say Warm It Up Chris question than it was to do that entire
Right. So today's game It's going to be Nick and Zakhia versus Robear and Greg. Ben is hosting, and it is time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on. Okay, round 1, question 1. Your category is Televisiones. Name the 2 actors who play the married couple Dre and Rainbow Johnson on the TV show Blackish.
We can lock in.
Okay. So Greg and Robear.
Okay, I think we're on the same wavelength. Anthony Anderson and Tracy Lee Ross.
That's wait, not Tracy. It's Tracy Ellis.
Tracy Ellis Ross. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we'll lock in with Anthony Anderson and Tracy Ellis Ross.
Zakhia and Nick.
Yeah, I had Tracy Ellis Ross and Anthony Anderson.
All right. Yep. You're looking at Anthony Anderson and Tracy Ellis Ross. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Second question round is in Ben Dramatizes a Hit.
Oh boy.
All right. I want you to name this 1988 slow jam. All right. Here's your lyrics. You can't have all of me because I'm not totally free. I can't tell you everything that's going on.
That's it?
Did you
That's
say
it.
it one more time, Ben?
Yes.
Like, wait.
You can't have all of me because I'm not totally free. I can't tell you everything that's going on.
This is going to be one of those songs that, as soon as I hear the title.
And what was the year again? You say 1989?
1988.
88.
I have a voice box full of nothing right now.
Jar of nothing strikes again.
Should we just lock in with that and move on? Yeah. Let's go with that.
I guess we're locked in.
Okay.
Okay, so we're thinking this is around time with Whitney Houston, maybe Janet Jackson.
Yeah, I'm just stuck on those. Like when you brought up Janet, I'm just like, those are the only 2 that are just like late 80s that just stuck in my head, and I can't get outside of them to think anybody else.
Probably too early for Mariah.
Yeah, because I think Mariah, I think she kind of took off in like 91.
But I for some reason, I'm stuck on it being a female voice, and I'm not sure if it's a solo artist or a group. But I'm not. What female groups were big back then? Not TLC. That's too early for them. SWV, En Vogue. I wonder if it's too late for somebody like Patti LaBelle, because she has some 80s.
Yeah, that was kind of in her like new attitude kind of era.
Right.
I think we should just stick with one of the 2.
Yeah.
Just roll with it. Just go on to the next one.
Yeah, I guess I'm probably more confident with Whitney Houston. What songs would it be?
Yeah.
I Want to Dance with Somebody, I think, is a little earlier than that.
Right. But I mean, that would be too poppy because he said it was a slow jam.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You Give Good Love, I think, is a slower one with Whitney.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you want to lock in with that?
Yeah, let's just lock in with Whitney.
Okay.
That's fine. Nothing.
Whitney Houston and You Give Good Love.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Zakhia and Nick.
They said Anita Baker. I'm like, oh, wow, that sounds good. But we went a completely different direction. I just went with the time period and the slow jam and a song that I like. So I went with Can You Stand the Rain by New Edition.
Can You Stand the Rain? Okay. I'm going to sing this and see if y'all recognize it based on the melody. You can't have all of me, 'cause I'm not totally free. I can't tell you everything that's going on, baby. You can have a piece of my love. It's waiting for you. Piece of My Love by Guy.
That's it.
Guy.
Yep.
I want to sing so bad, but it's going to sound so terrible.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah. Can You Stand the Rain was very close. Very close. All right. Your last question round is in memoriam. Rocky Johnson, who was one half of the first black tag team champions in pro wrestling history, passed away in January 2020. He is survived by, amongst others, his famous son. What is his famous son's name?
I think we can lock that in.
We're locked in. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Say the name one more time, Ben.
Rocky Johnson.
Oh, Nick.
Yep.
They're locked in, right?
Yes, they're locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick. Is this The Rock? Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Duh. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Let's go with The Rock.
That's the answer. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
All right. Greg and Robear?
We said Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You smell what we're cooking.
I do smell what you're cooking. It is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So at the end of the first round, both teams are tied. It is 20-20. All right. And we're going to go straight into the second round. Your first category is in names. What is Michelle Obama's maiden name?
All right. We're locked in.
Nick, so you're thinking...
I thought it was Johnson. I know it's a pretty common name.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think it begins with a J. Like, I don't think it's Jackson. Johnson sounds okay.
Yeah, I know it's not Jackson. I know it's not Brown. It's not Smith. Michelle Johnson feels right. Oh, if I get this wrong, my mom will kill me. But
yeah, it's close. I don't know if it's exactly there.
Yep.
Not like it's not Johnston. Like, doesn't she have like a brother who's a basketball coach somewhere?
I don't know. I remember when her mom, I think her mom was like living in the White House, and I remember seeing her mom's name. Yeah, I can't get past. I don't know. That's where I'm leaning. I can't. Can you think of any other like common names, like not like Simpson, but like something that ends in like a SON type sound?
I can think of a bunch of like Swedish names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apply like Johansson.
It's not Robinson, is it? Is it Robinson?
Robinson, yes.
Is that it? Okay.
Yes, I think it's Robinson.
Let's lock in with Robinson.
Okay.
All right. Robert and Greg?
We said Robinson. I was wondering if you guys want to stumble onto it. Yeah, but we said Robinson.
Walked right into it.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Michelle Obama's maiden name is Robinson. Good job.
Sweet.
All right. Your second question is in geography. Rosa Parks was famously arrested in 1955 for refusing to give up her seat on a bus in what city? And for 2 bonus points, what was her profession at the time?
Yeah, if you want to lock in with that, Zakhia, that sounds good to me for her profession.
Okay.
All right.
I think we're locked in.
All right.
I think we're pretty sure about Montgomery, Alabama being the city.
Yeah, I think we're good on the city. The profession, it just keeps bouncing back in my head. It's like either she was like a seamstress or that she worked, I feel like she worked in a department store. And I can't remember what it was exactly she was doing, but I think she was working in a department store. Just, I don't know if it was just like as a department store clerk.
Do department stores have seamstresses on staff, maybe?
I guess it would kind of make sense of the era, but I guess it depends on if we have to go that specific. I mean, if we could just say department store and, I mean, see if it goes from there. I mean, if we have to go more specific, then say department store seamstress.
Okay. So I guess we could say so Montgomery, Alabama as a city, and then department store in profession?
Yeah.
I need you to be more specific on the profession.
Damn.
Damn.
See, I know that TV show.
I know, right? Where was that
at? I should have put that in there.
Do I say seamstress?
Yeah, we'll just say department store, seamstress, and run with it.
All right.
So we said Montgomery, Alabama, and seamstress.
All right. So Rosa Parks was arrested in Montgomery, Alabama, and she was, in fact, a department store seamstress. So both teams will get full credit.
All right.
Great job. Great job.
Yeah, there are too many positions within a department store from a profession standpoint. That's why I should be more specific. Your last question in the round is in food and love.
Yes.
All right. I love that. So much sultriness going on.
I know, right?
It's amazing. All right. In 1975, with financial assistance from Marvin Gaye, Wally Amos created what brand, which was later sold to Kellogg's?
Okay, I think we're on the same. I think we can lock in.
Yeah, let's go with it.
We're locked in.
All right, Zakhia and Greg.
Amos cookies. Nick?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Like, did he freeze? What happened?
He's like, me?
No, I thought you were just locking in. Yeah, we agreed. Famous Amos.
Okay.
All right. And Robear and Greg?
We said
came up with Famous Amos.
Correct answer is Famous Amos. So this is kind of a sad story. I don't know how much of you know about this story. So Wally Amos actually came to my high school. I think I was a junior or senior in high school. And I remember them announcing that Wally Amos was coming to school. And I knew who he was because, being the nerd that I was, I always read the packages of the cookies. And so I knew his real name. So I walk in and there's this, kind of middle-aged gentleman dressed in sweatpants and like some old like beat up sneakers. And I'm like, hold on. This dude is Famous Amos and he's wearing sweatpants and beat up sneakers. And then he proceeded to tell us how he made a lot of poor financial decisions in the 70s and divested himself of his company and ended up losing his company and kind of went bankrupt and had to start over. So it's kind of a tragic story, but from my understanding, he did start a new cookie company in Hawaii. And I saw him recently on Shark Tank trying to get investment on a new cookie company that he started. So I think he's on the comeback trail.
Oh, redemption song. That's good.
Yeah. How old did he give up?
How old is he?
He's got to be in his 70s by now.
He's on the way back up.
Hey, he's never
Putting
too
in
old.
that time right now, man.
Hey, man, he's never too old. He was born in, he's 83 years old.
Get on here.
Holy crap. Yeah. That's intense. Never too late. Never too late. So at the end of the second round, let me do some quick math here. Still tied. Both teams have 52 points.
Wow, good job.
All right. Your third round begins with a question in movies. In Coming to America, what was the name of the barber shop frequented by Akeem and Simi?
Wow.
Yeah, Greg, let's just go with that.
Okay, well, we're locked in.
All right.
All right, Nick.
So Zakhia and I were just talking about whether the barbershop was named Soul Glow after the product, but I think we're agreeing that that's not it.
Just let your soul glow.
And that's exactly what I sent to him.
Do you remember the name of the barber?
No, like you said, it could be Doc.
I don't know where I pulled that from. That might just be made up, but
I feel like there's a Carl. Remember Carl? No?
And Family Matters, yeah.
Winslow. Yeah, not that guy.
Carl Winslow.
Could be.
As far as I know, it's like, could be Kunta Kinte's barbershop, because that's what he calls them, right?
I'd believe it.
I have, like, not the slightest clue, but...
I cannot picture the sign. I can picture them inside the shop, like sitting in the chair, but I don't have any idea what the facade of the building looks like.
Right. I mean, I kind of do, because it's like back into the building, and I kind of have an idea what it looks like, but I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it's named after one of the characters, and if like Doc is what we have, let's call it Doc's. I have no idea.
If you feel good about Carl or Rockies or whatever, I mean, I'm good.
I do not.
Lewis's ass.
If we want to go Doc's, I'm not going to come up with anything better.
All right, let's go then.
All right, we're locking in Doc's.
All right.
So we were 100% certain that we had 0% certainty. So we went with Willie's Cuts.
You know, when you break down those percentages, you reminded me of Big Papa Pump saying he had 141 2/3 chance of winning. All right, so the name of the barbershop is either painted or spray painted in really poorly handwritten letters on the wall. And it is my-t-sharp, my T Sharp Barbershop.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yep.
I don't even feel bad.
I've never noticed that before.
All right. Your next category is in science.
Science.
Who was the first African American woman in space?
Oh, I was Zakhia's got this. All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think let's locked in.
All right, cool.
They're locked in. Robear and Greg.
I believe that would be Dr. Jemison.
Okay, now let's go with that.
All right.
So I think this is Mae Jemison.
Correct answer is Mae Jemison. Good job.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's Ben's crush.
Man, she came to, when I was at Florida Blue the first time, she came in like, what was it, must have been 2014 or 2015 and spoke at one of our Black History events. She's still fine, man. She's amazing. She's so amazing. She has a majesty about her that's just ridiculous.
Isn't she like super like she was a doctor? She's like, oh no, I'm done being a doctor. Let me go into space. All right. Oh, I'm done with space. Let me found a tech company. Like, she is amazing at everything she does.
She does. She was tech company. And as of 6 years ago or so, when I saw her, she was doing some type of nonprofit feeding like either underprivileged kids or something like that. She's got her hands in so many things. It's ridiculous.
She's amazing.
She is an inspiration for sure.
What year did she go to space?
I was 92, I believe. I just looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
92.
Okay.
Your last question this round is in a musical before and after.
All right. Here we go.
I haven't done one of these in a while, so we'll see how it goes. Vicky Sue Robinson and LL Cool J team up to tell the tale of musical instruments under an imperative to syncopate rhythms as a dance track for street smart divas known as Lisa, Angela, Pamela, and Renee.
Zakhia's got a smile on her face as she's doing her. She can't stop cheesing.
She's dancing to the music in her head.
Can you say that again?
Yep.
Yes. Vicky Sue Robinson and LL Cool J team up to tell the tale of musical instruments under an imperative to syncopate rhythms as a dance track for street smart divas known as Lisa, Angela, Pamela, and Renee.
All right, locked in.
All right. There we go.
All right, Greg and Robear.
So I think the LL Cool J part is Around the Way Girl, because I think those Lisa, Angela, Pamela, Renee, that's part of the lyrics there. The rest of it, I don't know. Vicky Sue Robinson.
So with it being a before and after, then I guess from the order that he said it, then Vicky Sue would be first. So her song would be ending with the word around.
Right.
So and I can't get Bobby Brown's Humping Around out of my damn head.
That's unfortunate. That's what Dusty Rhodes would call hard times, man. Hard times.
What'd you get, Greg?
I think so. I saw Robinson, and I'm thinking maybe Smokey Robinson, Shop Around from the Miracles. And maybe Vicky Sue Robinson is Smokey's mother, because I think his mother is like, my mama told me you better shop around.
Shop around. Yeah.
So that's my thought. I mean, I'm not positive, but that would fit. Vicky Sue sounds like an older name, so I don't think it's somebody that was born in the the 80s.
Crazier things have worked.
Oh, okay. So do you want to go with Shop Around the Way Girl?
Shop Around the Way Girl.
Okay, well, we're locking in with Shop Around the Way Girl.
All right.
Go for it, Zakhia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Vicky Sue Robinson, I think, did this song that was covered by Gloria Estefan in the early 90s.
Oh, no.
I believe the answer is Turn the Beat Around the Way Girl.
Correct answer is Turn the Beat Around the Way Girl. Good job.
Good job.
That was a good pull.
Yeah, that's a good pull.
Thank you.
All right, score check.
At the end of the third round, Nick and Zakhia have 72. Robear and Greg have 62.
Your midpoint is in movies. I want you to give me the name of the 4 primary actresses from the 1995 movie Waiting to Exhale.
Oh, yeah.
I want the actresses' names.
Mm-hmm.
Zakia's like in my sleep.
She can actually do this while she's waiting to exhale.
Yes, she can.
One breath.
I was actually holding my breath. It's not good.
Somebody had there was a challenge out there. I don't think it took off very well, but it was saying to test your cardiovascular health or your lung health by holding your breath, and you have to like share the post and then like it, and then like you have to do like a bunch of steps while you're holding the breath. And if you could do all those steps in that time frame without losing your breath, then you have good lung strength or whatever. People are like,
people passing out.
I barely made it. Because it would take like 25 seconds. It wasn't like a really long time.
Still though,
but that's a long time if you don't have good lung strength.
Folks, don't hold your breath unless you're underwater.
Exactly.
Or in outer space. One of those two.
Don't hold your breath in outer space. You got to breathe oxygen. You have to breathe oxygen.
Well, you're assuming you got a spacesuit or something.
Yeah, but you
hold your breath if you're in outer space.
They give you oxygen though. You can't just
look. If you're floating around in outer space, don't breathe. In fact, you ain't got to worry about it.
If you don't have an oxygen tank in a spacesuit in outer space, breathing is the least of your work.
It seems primary to me.
Dude, your insides will be trying to get outside. That's a way bigger priority.
So we're locked in, by the way, guys.
By the way.
We're locked in. We're good.
All right, who's locked in?
Yep, we're locked in.
Okay, so Greg and Robear?
Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, Loretta Devine, and then Rashawn. I'm not positive on the first name.
It's Rashawn. At least for the last name. Yeah, I don't want to screw up the first name on that one.
Okay. All right, so we'll say Houston, Whitney Houston, Bassett, Devine, and Rashawn.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So we had Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett as Bernadine, Leela Rashawn as Robin, and Loretta Devine. I can't remember her character's name, but she has that beautiful musical voice, so can't forget her anywhere.
So your actresses were Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, Loretta Devine, and Leela Rashawn. Great job, both teams.
Thanks. Good job.
Coming out of the midpoint, 92 to 82. Nick and Zakhia still have the lead.
So fun fact, Loretta Devine voices Hallie the Hippo from Doc McStuffins. Just a fun fact there.
Yes, she does.
And Angela Bassett is still fine. Just want to put that out there. As is Leela Rashawn.
Just don't get her mad.
Oh, no. You don't want that.
Oh.
Hey, everybody, this is Jonathan. Before we get on to the second half, I want to let you know really quick that we're going to be in Chicago. And when I say we, I mean Carmela and I are going to be in Chicago for Geek Bowl. And we have paired up with some of our favorite podcasts in the trivia space. We're talking about Triviality, Misinformation, Complete the List, Sports Trivia Face-Off, Something Birds, and the Illuminati Facebook group to throw on the biggest party in Chicago on March 5th. That's right. You can kick off Geek Bowl week with all of us. We're going to have a lot of fun. There are going to be 2 bars. We actually have to expand the number of awesome people we're allowed to have in one place at one time to make this happen. We're going to have karaoke. We're going to have board games. We're going to have specialty drinks. You don't want to miss it. Be sure to join us for the Extravaganza Mixer on March 5th, starting at 7 p.m. in Chicago. You can find out more about it in the Trivial Warfare Army Facebook group. All right, let's get on with the second half of today's game.
Fourth round begins with the category of sports.
Sports.
As of January 2020, only one African-American quarterback has been elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What's his name?
Yeah, Greg, I think we're good with our first answer. I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to lock in.
All right.
All right. So my thoughts were McNair. I wasn't sure if he was a quarterback, though, but the name seems right.
Are those, 80s or 90s? Or
I think that's...
further back?
Yeah. McNabb was definitely later. I think he was like I think he was playing when I was in high school, so maybe early 2000s or so, and McNair was before that.
Well, if it's 2000s, I don't know. I don't know when the Hall of Fame elections happened. 2000s feels like, I guess that's 20 years ago. No, sorry, it's 2020, I suppose. Yeah, so are you thinking early 2000s?
I mean, for McNabb, yeah. But I also just want to give a shout out to the beautiful Cam Newton. But I don't think he's in it. But I just love to look at his face.
He's still playing, so
He's like, hey, boy, hey.
So there are a lot of adjectives that I've heard describe Cam Newton. I think that's the first time I've heard him described as beautiful.
He is beautiful. He needs to be silent, but he's beautiful.
He may be, but his wardrobe choices seem to find that lacking.
I don't know. I saw a picture comparing him to Whitney Houston. Yeah, it was a beautiful picture for sure.
I'm going to say this. I don't think that man will ever have a wrinkle.
Black don't crack, bro.
Like ever in his whole life.
And I better stop because my husband already thinks I'm going to run away with him. So I would say, I don't know why the name McNair is like bugging me.
When do you think he played?
Oh, see, I want to say like 90s, 80s time when I was just like watching football on my dad's lap and not really paying any attention to it.
Well, like I said, I've never heard of either of these guys, but I would lean kind of more towards the older players for Hall of Fame. That said, there's like half a grain of logic there. So whatever direction you're being pulled in, I'd say go with it.
Okay. The thing is, I don't even know if he's a quarterback. I don't even know if he's a football player. I know he's a football player, but like there's also the McNair that died in the Challenger. So like I'm just like Black history everything right now. But yeah, let's just do my shot in the dark and say McNair. Locked in.
All right.
So basically, McNair did come up with us. McNair played late 90s, early 2000s because he was in that memorable Super Bowl where they ended up 1 yard short. Kind of thought about thought about McNabb and the Cordell Stewarts and a couple of the other ones, but we came up with another person who was in the same franchise as Steve McNair, and we went with Warren Moon.
Oh, Kim, no. I know that name.
So, he did start his, he was not drafted by the NFL, so he actually started his career in the CFL where he won like a bunch of Grey Cups in a row and then went on to prominence with the Houston Oilers. It is Warren Moon.
He won so many Grey Cups, they started calling it the Brown Cup.
The Moon Cup. Yeah, had he been drafted his first year in the NFL, he probably have like 70 or 80,000 yards. It was
he would have gotten stuck on the bench somewhere with some stupid person not playing him.
You're kind of right. 'Cause that's what happened to Flutie. Same thing happened to Flutie.
Yep.
All right, your second question round is in literature. Name the author of the Easy Rawlins mysteries, most notably Denzel's film adaptation of Devil in a Blue Dress. Give me the author's name.
Locked in.
Greg and Rob.
All right. Here we go. This is definitely not my strong suit.
I have no idea. I'm trying to think of the movie and
I'm just hoping not to yell out a guess that sounds too ridiculous.
Exactly.
I have nothing. I have nothing at all.
I'm sitting here with the same problem. I guess trying to think back because you're bringing up a Devil in the Blue Dress. The movie setting is kind of early times. Like, isn't it like 20s and 30s?
Like I think around that time, like the Renaissance time, Harlem Renaissance. Yeah.
So I guess trying to think of any prominent writers at that time.
I don't know. Although it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that wrote this in what their present day was, or were they doing something nostalgic.
I feel like Ralph Ellison is completely wrong, but it just keeps bouncing in my damn head.
I'm fine with that.
All right, let's go with Ralph Ellison and just go on to the next one. All
right.
We're locking in with Ralph Ellison.
So I think This is Walter Mosley.
Correct answer is Walter Mosley.
Wow.
Okay. Good job.
Yeah. I remember those books kind of lying around the house when I was little.
Yeah, he followed a color theme for a while, and now I think he just does like anthologies now.
Mm-hmm.
Your last question around is in food and love.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, we love it.
Again.
Again.
Ain't nothing wrong with some good loving.
That's right.
Or some
right.
good
And
food.
Or some good food, but they don't mix. Not to me, at least. From 1893 until the 1950s, Nancy Green served as the world's first living trademark as the image for what product?
You said 1893?
Yep.
Okay, we're locked in.
Okay.
So
Fine.
Aunt Jemima sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to picture like anything else, and that's like the only thing that's popping into my mind right now.
So, yeah, I think it has to be Aunt Jemima. The only other, like, even remotely feasible option would be, like, Mrs. Butterworth, because, like, she's maple syrup and she's already, like, brown to begin with.
Yep.
Like, I used to make the joke when I was little to my mom, like, oh, yeah, like, the Black people, we own the breakfast aisle. We got Aunt Jemima and we got Mrs. Butterworth. Not realizing that, Mrs. Butterworth is just filled with maple syrup. That's why she's brown.
Yep.
Aunt Jemima actually has a face.
Right.
So I'm going to go.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning to. Let's
Okay.
lock in Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, lock Aunt Jemima.
Okay, Greg and Rob.
We did the same thing. We said Aunt Jemima.
Aunt Jemima.
Yep, Nancy Green was Aunt Jemima. So Aunt Jemima pancake mix, I'll give you credit for it. That is correct. So,
At the end of the round, score for Rob and Greg is 102. Score for Zakhia and Nick is 112.
okay.
All right.
Your fifth round begins with a history question. What is the name of Martin Luther King Sr.'s church, where his famous son co-pastored in the 1960s? What's the name of the church?
Yeah, let's lock it in.
All right, locked in.
Greg and Robert.
So
Yeah.
first, we have Ebenezer. Now the question is there more to that afterwards?
It's like I was thinking like Ebenezer Congressional Baptist Church or something like that.
So probably that as opposed to just Ebenezer Baptist Church.
All right, let's just like do like Ebenezer Baptist Church.
Okay.
Just go with that.
All right. Well, we're locking with Ebenezer Baptist Church.
Zakhia and Greg.
That is so right. Oh, man. All right. So I had AME stuck in my head. So I was like, oh, yeah, AME. And the only thing I could think of putting in front of AME was Bethel. So I said Bethel AME.
Martin Luther King Sr. preached at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta.
Nice job.
Yes. All right.
And I've been there. I've seen it. I just couldn't remember the name offhand, and it wasn't positive. But.
Yeah, my wife's bestie attended there before she left Atlanta. She was a member there for a while. Her name's Candace. Hi, Candace, if you're listening. She was.
And if
actually,
you're not, why are you not listening, Candace?
Tashina's very supportive of my efforts here, but I think she gets intimidated by trivia. She thinks it's kind of overhead. And I can't encourage her.
What's that got to do with Candace?
Well, so. Anyway. So, hi, Candace. Your second question round is in sports. According to recent Olympic history, the 100-meter winner in this year's games will be either from the United States or Jamaica. The last time a European-born sprinter won Olympic gold in the 100-meter dash was in what year?
Ooh. Okay, I think we're locked in.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think when the actual Olympics years were. So I know there was one in 2000, so there was probably one in 1980. So I'm thinking it would be 72, and then 68 would be the ones before that, right? Does that sound right?
Yes.
And
so, yeah, whenever, backtracking a little bit. So the guys on the podium in Mexico City.
Yep.
I thought that was this sometime in the 70s.
Now that I'm thinking that, I'm wondering if that was 68. Does that? I don't know if that rings a bell to you. That year is sticking out to me for some reason.
1968.
It could have been 70s, but you're thinking those guys were 1 and 2 for sure, right?
Yeah, and then there's the third white dude from Australia, I think.
Yeah.
He's third on the podium.
Which either way wouldn't be European.
Right.
Sure. Did you say he said European, right? Yeah.
Yeah, European born is what he said.
I mean, so our best guess might be to go just the Olympics before that one.
Sure. Or if we go with the assumption that most, well, I don't know if this is true of track runners. Do they compete in multiple Olympic games? Like, I know now they do, but...
I'd say even back then, I'd say probably most of them would do at least 2, maybe 3 if they were pushing it.
Okay. So we'll just make an assumption of 2. And if we're going with 1968 for that year, so we know they were in 1968, backing up to 1964, so 1960? That seemed right? Was there an Olympics in 1960?
Not one that comes to mind, but the year works out. That's 40 years before Sydney 2000, so...
Okay.
Unless they skipped one, and I don't think they would have skipped 1960 for any reason. And I like the roundness of that number because I feel like it kind of makes a more significant trivia fact if it's a kind of nice round number.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I like round number 2. Cool.
All right, cool. So should we just lock in 1960?
Yeah, let's lock in 1960.
Locked in.
All right.
Oh, hearing that makes me feel like we should have went much earlier than we did. But we were kind of thinking that, I don't know, just kind of the idea just popped in my head that with Ben Johnson being the one who was not from the U.S. or Jamaica, that maybe possibly he was European born and just represented Canada. Not even sure if we even got the year right, but we went with 1992.
All right. So a couple of things I want to clarify there from your discussion. There was an Olympics in 1960. It was held in Rome. The 1968 protest you're referring to was the 200-meter dash with the Australia showing the solidarity. If you know that there's been dominance of mostly American-born sprinters, it would make sense to think about the last time Americans didn't go to the Olympics, and that was the boycott in 1980 in Moscow.
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
So that... How come there was an Olympics in... Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, got it, yeah.
Yeah, cool. You know, sometimes the numbers just mess with you, man. I'm just.
Yep.
I teach math for a living, and even I get numbers wrong pretty frequently.
I mean, I would admit to it, but I was a math major in college. But don't let me swear to that.
Hey, we all have our regrets.
Math and time are two different things.
Indeed, they are.
Yep.
Indeed, they are. Just try to put a date in Excel, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Your last question round is in music. Music. Since 1987, who has held the position as Director of Jazz at Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts in New York City?
Yeah, Greg, I can lock that in.
Okay, sounds good.
Zakhia and Nick?
Yeah, Nick just sent me a message saying, "You look like you know." And I'm like, haha, no, I don't. I'm just like,
that's just her resting face.
Fancy.
It's a resting knowing.
I have a resting no face.
Yes, a resting intelligent face.
So, what was the title again, Ben? Director of...
Let's see. Director of Jazz at the Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts in New York City.
Got it. So, I would just guess famous jazz musicians at this point. Do you have anybody that pops to mind?
The only people I can think of are like the Marsalis siblings, Wynton and I think Branford. I think that's his name, but I know they're from New Orleans. But that doesn't stop them from being director of jazz in New York. But I mean, that's probably like my best guess. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, everybody I can think of for jazz would be a performer who's still like on tour. So probably wouldn't be a director of any kind of musical place in New York. Yeah, I don't have a better guess. I mean, the fact that they're from New Orleans, I feel like helps rather than hurts them in a jazz position. So
it helps from the jazz point of view, not so much the Lincoln point of view.
Fair enough. Yeah, I have nothing better. If we want to just lock in last name and then whichever one of them it is, we'll pick it up.
I love your confidence. Whichever one it is, we'll pick it up because God is one of them.
So we've got it. Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's do it. Lock in Marsalis.
Okay.
All right. So kind of funny is that before, while I'm here waiting to pick up one of my daughters, my other daughters are in a bowling league. And when one of them finished bowling today, I was having her quiz me on information. And this question came up this morning. So I believe the correct answer would be one Winston Marsalis.
Oh,
All right. Go. So the director of jazz since 1987 is Wynton Marsalis. I have a decision to make, don't I?
Ooh. Oh, no.
You mispronounced his first name.
Oh, no.
It's Wynton, not Winston.
Wynton.
I'd say give it to him.
Which decision will cause me to get crucified more by Black Twitter? I'm trying to decide.
They take it seriously.
They do. They take things very seriously.
I love Black Twitter, by the way.
It's amazing.
If when I die, Black Twitter has nice things to say about me, I will know I have done well in this life.
I mean, I guess on one other thing, with there being so many Marcelluses, wouldn't there need to be specificity on their end as well?
Oh, we already know the first name. Too late. Yeah.
Well, so if of all the names to give me, if you give me Marsalis, I'm going to give it to you. Just because if it was Johnson, I'd probably ask for clarification. But Marsalis is unique enough that I would give them credit for a last name only.
His brother was a musician that was on the Tonight Show for 20 years.
Okay, and there are a lot of other famous people who have other famous siblings who also do things. So,
as soon as I heard you put that S in there, I was like, oh,
yeah.
Because I don't know if I had a strong feeling either way, then I'd just say do this. But I see, like, me, I'm hardcore, but I also like to be consistent.
Yeah.
So if I was making the decision,
that damn PDF had it spelled wrong.
If I were making a decision, it'd be the harder course decision. But people seem to like leniency and flexibility more than I do. So
I tend to be a generous god when I'm hosting.
Yeah.
You want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
No.
Let the gods of luck decide. One time, rock, paper, scissors is as random as you get. If you win, he gets it. If I win, he doesn't get it. Total luck.
Okay. If
I'm
I
good
win,
with that.
he gets it.
That way it's out of our hands.
Okay.
We didn't decide.
Just one.
One time.
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot.
All right.
You get credit,
You get it.
Robear.
All right. You get credit.
Rock beats scissors.
You always go rock.
I should have known. I should have known.
Y'all would have known that because that happened like 2 hours ago and it won't come out for 2 weeks, but you always go rock. All right, so good job, both teams. That is the end of the round.
Oh, boy. At the end of the round, Robear and Greg have 122. Zakhia and Nick have 122.
Oh boy.
Your sixth round begins with a question of money.
Money, 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 money.
In 2000...
Rude.
Oh, so good. In 2001, who became the world's first black billionaire? And I do need a first and last name.
Okay, I think we are locked in.
All right.
Okay, Nick. So,
Yeah. So I agree
but-
with you. I mean, or first thought for both of us is obviously Oprah, but we're kind of thinking if it was Oprah, you wouldn't need the last name. I mean, Oprah's just Oprah.
So I'm thinking it's the guy who sold BET to Viacom, and I think the timing is right. And I think his last name is Johnson. I think he's got a generic first name like Bob Johnson, but Bob Johnson. I think, I don't know if that's the same guy who does like the magazines, like he did Ebony and Jet, and I think he had BET at one point. I could be conflating a bunch of Johnson people into one, but I mean, it would make sense that he would be a billionaire and that you would need his first and last name.
Yeah, because it's Johnson.
Yeah.
So are you sure that the Ebony guy's first name is Bob then?
No.
Okay.
I feel like the last name is definitely Johnson for Ebony guy, the Jet guy, and the BET guy. I'm not sure if they're all the same person, but why don't we just amalgamate and call them all Bob?
Yep.
'Cause that's what I got. Bob Johnson.
Let's go with Bob Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had the same wavelength. We also thought about Oprah, but then we said, if it was Oprah, then you wouldn't need first and last name. But yeah, we went with Bob Johnson. I remember him showing up at the BET Awards, like the first few years, like saying, "Hey, this is the BET guy. Let me talk for a few minutes." But then I think he's been replaced with what's her name, Deborah Lee, I think, and she may be gone now too. But anyway, I tangent. We went with Bob Johnson.
All right. He officially became a billionaire after he sold BET to Viacom in early 2000s. We are talking about Robert or Bob Johnson.
What?
Wow, y'all. Wow.
Bob Johnson.
Yes.
So for this question, I specifically asked for first and last name because I just learned this week that he is not the same person who created Ebony and Jet magazine, who is John Johnson.
Oh.
All my life, I thought they were the same two people. And I just learned this week they're two very different people.
Also, not the same Robert Johnson that sold his soul to the devil at the crossroads.
Thank you.
Also, I'm pretty sure he's not related to me. As far as I know, he's not related.
There are a lot of Johnsons out there. All right. Your second question is in movies. Who directed the films Higher Learning and Too Fast, Too Furious?
Okay, we can lock in.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, Nick.
Yeah.
I was thinking John Singleton because, okay. So Higher Learning, I think there's like a scene with Tyra Banks running track. I think is that the right movie? And I think she was like somehow I'm associating Tyra Banks with John Singleton. But if it's John Singleton, wouldn't they name Boys in the Hood? But I mean, that could be leaving the obvious one off the question.
Right. So I'm not familiar with Higher Learning. Too Fast, Too Furious is an interesting choice because I know a lot of those movies in that series were directed by the same person, but I think Too Fast, Too Furious was kind of like the odd one out there. It was either Greg something or Rob something directed a lot of the later ones. But yeah, if you want to say Singleton for Too Fast, Too Furious, I feel like that could possibly be. That's not ringing a bell, so I don't feel great about it. But
yeah.
Do you have anything else from Higher Learning that's like pulling you towards John Singleton?
No, I'm just having weird flashes because that's another movie that I think I saw when I was little because my parents were watching it and just kind of wandered into the room, and then I wandered back, and I might have walked in on the Tyra Banks part, but I don't remember. All I have is John Singleton. I feel like it's not one of the very many Fast and Furious movies. It's not entirely out of his scope, but I'm trying to think of other Black directors, and
it's definitely not Spike Lee.
It's no,
definitely not.
It's not Antoine Fuqua, I don't think. Really? Maybe. I just feel like he's a little more highbrow. Maybe, I don't know.
No, I mean, fair enough.
It's not Tyler Perry.
No, there's not enough cross-dressing for that.
Oh, but if there was cross-dressing in the Fast and Furious or Too Fast, Too Furious, that would make it way more interesting to me. But
it's not a great movie, so it would probably be an improvement. Yeah, I can't picture. I can't think of who directed that.
Yeah, because I'm thinking Higher Learning was definitely out in the 90s. So let's go with John Singleton. I think he died recently, didn't he? That's kind of makes him a little more noteworthy to ask a question about.
Sure, I think it was within the past couple of years, but yeah, sure. Let's lock it in.
Okay, lock in John Singleton.
Okay.
Yeah, we said John Singleton. I had no idea about the Too Fast, Too Furious, but I knew for sure from Higher Learning as John Singleton.
Yeah, because that was just immediately after all of the fame that he got for it just completely escaped my mind for the moment.
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. Yes, thank you. Why can't I think of this movie?
So he did make his film directorial debut with Boys in the Hood. It is John Singleton.
Way. Yay.
Well done.
Can someone answer my question? Is Tyra Banks in that movie?
She is.
Yes.
I was about to be my segue. I know that he was dating Tyra Banks at one point. I believe it was around the same time that movie was shot. They were actually an item, and if that's the case, if that's correct, the time frames overlap, then I'm sure that played a huge part in her getting that role.
Hey, gotta get your break.
That is a very intense movie. Like there's a lot of like trigger warning type things in that movie that are it's tough
For sure.
Yeah, I kind of have this personal thing where, well, in general, I don't like to watch anything that triggers negative emotions in me, whether it be anger, fear, or fright. And so there are movies like that are movies where I think it's important that the next generation knows about it and understands where it's coming from. But it's not something that I can consume on a regular basis because it just has a really bad effect on me personally. So I think it's important we know our history and understand why things happen the way they happen. That's important. But just to say, hey, let's sit down and watch Higher Learning. No, bro, I'm good.
Nope.
I'm good.
I didn't realize we were similar in that.
Yeah,
That's very much like the way that I am about TV and movies.
Yeah. All right. Your last question round before the gauntlet is in sports.
Sports.
Oh, Nick does not like that. You see him? He literally shook his head back and forth and bit his bottom lip. He's like, oh, hell no. Damn.
Ah, shucks.
All right. So I want you to name either of the Division I athletic conferences that consists exclusively of HBCUs. And I'll give you 2 bonus points if you can name both conferences.
Holy crap. I didn't even know this was a thing. And I'm a sports guy.
This is definitely a thing.
By the way.
Yeah, we're good.
We're locked in.
Oh, on the
locked
last
in.
question of the 6th round would to come up.
So, well, I'll start off by saying I have no idea. I was listening to last year's Black History Month episode a couple of weeks ago, and one of the questions that Ben asked was about the MEAC. One of the answer was a school from the MEAC, and I'm not sure if that was one of the conferences he's talking about or if it was just a random conference that he brought up. Do you know? I think it's Mid-East Atlantic Conference.
Something about MEAC rings a bell. I mean, I feel kind of terrible because I have 2 cousins who went to HBCUs. I have friends who went to HBCUs, and I don't know their conferences, and I feel bad. But to be fair, I only know really like one Division I conference, and that's the one
Is it the Big
of
Ten?
my alma mater.
Did you go to Michigan?
I went to Michigan State.
Is that a Spartans? Is that a Spartans hoodie you're wearing?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, I just saw the crest.
Yeah. Go green.
Go white.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Go blue. Go blue. Throw that in there.
Go blow.
Yeah.
Go blow.
Hell no.
Always bad, so.
So if I recall, the school that he had talked about last time was A&M, but is it Georgia or something? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm okay with going with MEAC. I feel like there's another one with like the word SWAC came to mind for me. So I feel like the ACK part, like that's good. If you feel stronger about MEAC, I'm good with that.
Remember, zero logic here. I mean, this is I could not name a single school in this conference.
It's also recall. Like you thought you heard it, so you're fishing it out rather than I'm just kind of pulling from. Hey, this is a word I think I heard once.
I would
fun.
imagine it's not SWAC because I would guess the SW is Southwest.
Okay.
Which doesn't really lead me to HBCU, but possibly. I mean, I'm pretty sure the AC is Atlantic Conference, so possibly. Who knows? Do you want to make up a guess for the bonus too?
Are we penalized for guessing incorrectly on the bonus?
I don't believe we are,
No.
Ben.
No, you're not. It's 2 points if you get it right, and then no extra if you don't.
All right. So yeah, we can go with MEAC.
We could do SWAC as the bonus if that came out of somewhere for you.
Oh, look, you use SWAC as a bonus?
I mean, do you feel like that could be?
It's something that came out of mine, but I'm not sure if I was just like conflating it with MEAC because like
Sure.
AC sounds good. And Atlantic Conference. Are they both like directional in names? So Atlantic Conference, is there like a Gulf something? Or is it like, I don't know. I'm not coming up with anything.
I couldn't come up with anything else either. I would guess these would all be conferences kind of more East Coast is the only thing I've got.
Yeah, let's just go with MEAC. I got nothing else.
All right, cool. I guess we're locking in with MEAC, and then for the bonus, we'll go SWAC.
All right.
I think we knew this right away. I think we have 100% certainty on both. So we said the SWAC and the MEAC.
What?
Oh my God. Zakhia and Nick have just kind of come all the way around the block on 3 answers in the last half of this game.
I attended Florida A&M University, which is in the MEAC, the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, and then I have a lot of colleagues who attended Grambling and Southern in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. It is MEAC and SWAC.
That's sweet.
What?
I love that.
Well done, Zakhia. You just pulled a Jonathan.
Like 3 of them this half.
Yep.
Great.
Well,
Oh boy.
at the end of the 6th round, 152 to 152.
Holy crap.
Oh, boy.
Oh my God. This is okay.
Your category for the gauntlet is Brown.
Can you say that again?
Brown.
We have locked in our wager.
Okay.
We're locked in on our wager.
Yep.
All right.
Here is your first question in the category of Brown. What is the name of the actor that plays Mr. Brown in Tyler Perry's plays and films?
We're locked
in.
No, yeah, lock it.
All right. Locking in.
All right. Here's your second question in Brown. William Wells Brown wrote Clotel, Clotel, in 1853. It was the first published novel penned by a Black American, and its eponymous character is a fictional daughter of what president?
Did you say a year, Ben?
The novel was written in 1853 or published in 1853.
Okay, I think we can lock in.
Yep.
All right, we're locked in.
The answer is locked in.
Okay, and here's your final question. The landmark Brown versus Board of Education Supreme Court ruling was a major factor in the civil rights movement and propelled Thurgood Marshall's career. In what state did the case originate?
Locked in.
Okay.
All right, then we are locked in.
Okay. Here's your questions read back. First one is, what is the name of the actor that plays Mr. Brown in Tyler Perry's plays and films?
Pretty much, I think I might be, well, obviously, speaking for myself, I tend to not care about Tyler Perry movies. And I mean, I'm not going to, knock on his ability to make a whole bunch of money. And I'm glad he's done it and made his own studio, but his movies are not for me. And so I just decided I'm going to pick some guy that basically is in a bunch of movies that, he just shows up in. Is kind of one of that guys. So we went with Cedric the Entertainer.
Okay.
Oh, is that him? That does look like his face now that I'm thinking about it. Oh my gosh.
Is it?
That sounds good. We locked in with Alex Reginald Trebek.
Of the African
Yeah.
Trebeks.
Watching that meme, I think my favorite one is somebody was like, "You mean he was passing all this time?"
Dude,
Yeah.
when they said, don't forget about his career in wrestling and showed the Rick Rude picture, man, I was sitting in a Moe's restaurant and I started laughing out loud, and I laughed for like 30 seconds out loud hard, and people were staring at me, but I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, that's really funny stuff. Oh my God. Okay. The first published novel penned by a Black American was written by William Wells Brown. The title of the book was Clotel, who was a fictional daughter of what president?
We decided that we were going to go with Thomas Jefferson.
Okay.
We also went with Thomas Jefferson.
All right. And the Brown versus Board of Education Supreme Court ruling the case originated in what state?
Admitted to the Union in 1861. It is the state of Kansas.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Yes, it's Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, which is in Kansas.
Okay, so I'm going to read these back in reverse order. The landmark Brown versus Board of Education case did originate in Kansas. It was the Board of Education of Topeka. Clotel was a fictional daughter of Thomas Jefferson. And the entertainer that plays Mr. Brown in Tyler Perry's plays and films, he and his wife both star in Tyler Perry's plays and films. And I'm looking for David Mann. David Mann.
Yeah.
When you said the entertainer, I thought that they guessed it right.
Yeah.
Cedric the entertainer.
Oh, yeah, I threw that in there.
I thought, man. So
All
they
right.
both missed the first one.
Yep.
Nice dramatization there.
Oh, we got some wagering that's happened here. I don't know who
boy.
to guess first. All right, we're going to start with both teams missed it. Robear, Greg, what did you wager?
So we were
go
we
ahead.
were going back and forth of either going all in or betting nothing, and we weren't sure. But we were thinking about with Brown. Brown can go so many ways with different kind of questions. So we went with 0.
They didn't lose anything. All right, so Zakhia and Nick, what did you wager?
We wagered more than 0, I can tell you that.
Oh,
Yeah, like we definitely had the same conversation. Brown could be anything. And we're like, well, we don't want to wager too much because we don't think that they're going to go very high because, hey, you can go with everything or nothing. So, well, let's just put a little edge on it. And we bet 12.
12. With a
Um,
final score of 152 to 140, your winners are Greg Johnson and Robear Everett. The come from behind victory.
Congratulations.
Nice job, guys.
Good job,
Good job,
guys.
Greg.
Very,
Hey,
very
good
good.
job.
Great
Oh, what
game,
a
great
great game. Hey, good job by Ben Young hosting. He had some fun troubles with his mouth during
Yes.
I had no the questions were great.
They were
My mouth was
the cord that connects your brain to your tongue was offline.
God, I need to unplug it and plug it back in. What's wrong?
Great job.
Thanks.
Before
Great
you
job,
guys
man.
go, we like to give everybody a chance to do shout outs or to promote a cause that they care about. Greg, let's start with you.
Well, I think I did the same thing last time I was on, but in these trying times, I think I'd like to promote that we all just be a little bit kinder to each other, and in all situations. And I think we'll be a little bit better. We all just try to push to default to kindness.
Preach it, brother. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's awesome. All right, Robear, you're up.
All right. I guess I'll start with my sporkleness here and, bring up for those that are local that are around here. I got my Monday show at Herman's Old Town Grill in Plymouth on Mondays, Eastern Market Brewing Company on Wednesdays. Sporkle is actually doing some donating right now for the cause of diversity and inclusion. So we've got some money that is being spread around to some organizations and looking to really push diversity and inclusion in the craft beer world. Other than that, looking forward to Jonathan seeing you, and I don't know if the rest of the crew is coming, but seeing you guys at TriviaCon in April, and just looking to have a whole hell of a lot of fun out there.
Now, just since she's been, Zakhia, can you vouch? Is Robear a fun host to go to a game that he hosts?
He's fantastic.
I thought he might be. I really did.
Yeah.
I have top 300. I'm like top 300.
Now, Robear, just really quick, don't you have a beer podcast you're a part of?
Yes, I do. I have a beer podcast called Better on Draft that we are live on Facebook every Friday, or almost every Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern. It does get posted to iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and all of those little avenues.
All right. Got to remember to plug your show, brother.
Yeah, that's true.
Always give love to our podcast around here. All right, Mr. Nick Brooks, your turn.
Don't have anything to sell or plug, but thanks for having me on the show, guys. This was a fun time. I think just great competitors, and yeah, congrats again, everyone.
Love having you on. Thank you. And Zakhia will wrap up with you.
Okay. So, like Robear, I also host at JT's in Belleville, Michigan. I'm not as seasoned of a host as Robear, but we have a good time on Thursday.
Something tells me that your games are a blast.
They are very loud and fun.
You have a sparkly, for anybody who's met you in person, you have a sparkling personality.
Oh, thank you. That's
You're
so
welcome.
sweet. You can see my sparkling personality on March 5th on Jeopardy.
That's right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you going to be in Chicago at that point where we can do a watch party?
Not on the 5th. I'm trying to get out for that weekend.
So we're going to do a watch party so we could watch you like the day before you get there.
Yeah. 2 other things. Like to plug organ donation. Really important. I know a lot of people are afraid to be organ donors because they're like, oh, they won't take care of me if I'm about to die at the hospital. But it's literally saving my mother-in-law's life right now at this very moment. So yes, organ donation, organ donors, fabulous people. Everybody wants a piece of you. And
That's awesome.
That's a really good perspective.
I love it.
Yeah.
And lastly, if you don't go to work sick. That's how I ended up with a double ear infection. There's a PSA. I got sick from a nurse at a hospital. Then she gave me a double ear infection. So, yeah. Stay home if you're sick. Love one another. Be kind. Rewind.
And you completely left out help control the pet population.
That's right.
I love it. Also, before we go, if you love Trivial Warfare and you want to hear more of it and you're not a patron right now, you are missing 2 episodes a month. If you want that, we are at trivialwarfarearmy.com to sign up as a member of the Trivial Warfare Army. Our lieutenants and above, that's $5 a month and above, get all 4 episodes a month and access to over 150 archived episodes. So, trivialwarfarearmy.com if you want more TWA. All right, that's going to wrap us up. So, for Zakhia, for Nick, Greg, Robear, and Ben, my name is Jonathan, and this has been another episode of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped trivialwarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit propodcastingservices.com.
Yeah, let's just go with Miak. I got nothing else.
All right, cool. I guess we're locking in with Miak, and then for the bonus, we'll go Swag.
We have some kind of bell ringing in the background.
Yeah, I'm getting like an iMessage on my computer right now.
And also, that wasn't me electronically triggering Nick either. Like, should we go with Miak? Ding! Swag for the bonus. Ding!
All right.
The timing was such that it seemed suspicious. So I just wanted to, say I'm innocent of that.
By the way, Robear has excellent audio quality for being a headphone plugged into a cell phone
in the car.
In the car. You have had some excellent audio quality, better than a lot of people who have like fancy setups, and yours is flawless.
Thank you. This I don't know, this spot just happened to work out, and now it's just hopefully it's not picking up my daughter's purse as she's putting away a bag of Cheetos and
No, it's not.
Does putting away a bag of Cheetos, is that a euphemism for eating the Cheetos?
She was eating the Cheetos, yes, and she apparently has an extra bag of Cheetos that is going into her purse, which is going to make me ask why you have so many damn Cheetos. But I'm going to leave that for later because we got a game to finish here.
Yeah, got to adjust our grocery budget there. I got too many Cheetos.
Did you say wince? This is the Black History Month episode. You cannot speak in Old English.
I don't even know what I just said.
You said wince, you're done.
I said wince, you're done? Yes. Whence thine art done, thou must say.
There goes dogs.
Hirsch, dog, Hirsch.
Yeah, that's my dog and my mother.
Wait,
I
which
hope that
one
was just
which?
your dog. If that was your mother, that
kidding.
explains a
I'm
lot about the
kidding.
story earlier.
Oh. All right, so today's warm it up Chris question comes from me,
Hey.
and with a
Before you do that, is there anything we can do to do a different Warm It Up Chris intro song in the next 2 weeks?
that's a good question.
Because that is a pretty white song.
I'd have to think about that.
Take a couple of
I'm going to take that
days.
with some homework.
Think about that.
And figure
I'd love
something out.
to. I'd love to intro something new.
Yeah, I'm going to.
All right.
I have to make a note of
I
that.
just gave Ben homework, y'all. I'm sorry.
Just
So I have to
record a
put that in
singing
my
the song
phone?
right now. That might work.
Well,
that.
see, it needs. The
I
thing
don't know if I
about
can
it,
get some notes out.
it doesn't have any beat though. That's what it's lacking a beat.
Yeah, we have to think about that.
All right.
I'll get you some options.
All right.